All right, guys, here we go. It is exciting. I'm actually in the library today, so I'm going to be talking with my inside voice. But I had to get it in. I was out and about looking at all of the information about ChatGPT 4 versus Bard. Well, actually, ChatGPT versus Bard, but I know ChatGPT 4 is on the way out. But as I like to do, I want to start out with some jokes before we get into the discussion. And I'm going to hang for about a half an hour. And I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Again, no sponsors, but I like to mention ChatGPT has been an incredible software platform, confidant. Not really, but it's like a human. And it's an incredible thing. But anyway, also Revoicer. You'll be hearing a Revoicer today, even with these jokes, which are a little cheesy. This program, man, I tell you what, I know how it is to get a voiceover artist. I've been a voiceover artist. I've seen the fees, and this right here is something that you should look at. The Revoicer app program or platform, shall I call it. I mean, you can translate text, generate text from voice. You can do that on your smartphone, but also you can generate voice from text, and it's just a good program. But let's get it started, guys, with some jokes right about here. Let's go.
I have a pizza joke, but it's a little cheesy. I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. Did you hear about the restaurant called Karma? There's no menu, you just get what you deserve. I'm trying to eat more healthy, but I'm always feeling hungrier than a hippo at a buffet. I never trust people who don't like pizza. It's a sign that they're not to be trusted. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. I'm in a committed relationship with my fridge. We go way back. The only thing better than a good meal is a good meal with good company. I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know. What did the grape say when it got stepped on? Nothing, it just let out a little whine.
I like that Amazon one. I really like that Amazon one. That was good. That was one of the better ones, guys. We're gonna have to use that. We're gonna feature that. But anyway, let's move on to what we're here for. Have you guys ever heard of Mitch Hedberg? It was a comedian. I believe he passed away in 2005. And that guy kind of reminds me of him. Mitch Hedberg, his voice. He had a lot of one-liners, and yeah, he passed away in 2005. He had a lot of one-liners, and he had this kind of deadpan, simple voice like that Revoicer guy right here, Caleb. But anyway, guys, let's get to it. Google Bard versus Chat GPT. We already know Google is the king, but man, I tell you what, right now you couldn't tell with Chat GPT. And one thing we are aware of is Google's been using AI forever. They probably invented AI, but it's like it just feels like this Chat GPT has taken what we understand AI are communicating to another level, or at least the average person. I mean, someone who works for Google probably knows more, or even who works for OpenAI, they know a lot more. But this is doing some things that I've never witnessed before. The way it's writing and how it writes and what it writes, and it can come up with jokes, and then it can come up with complex math problems, speeches, and it's just doing something that we haven't really witnessed before. But will it be able to take the place of a Google? I don't think so. Me personally, because whatever they have, and I don't want to be funny, but Google let it happen. I know Bill Gates is powerful, so is Windows. So he actually made it happen as well. But I mean, Google could have been out the gate years ago, I'm sure. But also, I was listening to somebody who said sometimes, I forgot where it was, but he said sometimes the bigger organizations, they don't see the little guy coming up because they have everything set how they want it. And so that I thought about that. I said, did Google see this? And I believe they did, because again, in my phone there's AI. My mom's phone literally has an AI chip. They've been following on Google Maps for 10 years. So I know they have a handle on what's going on. Sometimes I feel like this is like marketing, and it's working very well. Like Google has a handle on everything. Why would they ever have a mistake? But anyway, let's get to reading, guys. I'm going to see what is the difference between ChatGPT and Bard. And I'm going to use Revoicer since I'm in my Insight voice. Let's see.
It's difficult to make a direct comparison between ChatGPT and Bard because they are designed for different purposes and have different capabilities. ChatGPT is a language model developed by OpenAI that can answer a wide range of questions, provide information on a variety of topics, and engage in natural language.
Give me a second, guys. I had the wrong page up. All right, guys. You know what? We're going to listen to this. I don't want to waste your time, so let's go.
Conversations. Bard, on the other hand, is an AI language model developed by Eluther AI specifically for generating creative writing such as poetry and literature. While both ChatGPT and Bard are based on similar technology, they have different strengths and weaknesses. ChatGPT is more versatile and can provide information on a wider range of topics, while Bard is more focused on generating creative writing. Ultimately, the choice between the two would depend on the specific task or application at hand.
That's interesting, and I don't know the details of Bard, but when I actually searched this on ChatGPT, it kind of said something similar. This is a different thing, but it said, what was the word that they used? Large data. It was like Bard has 1 point something billion parameters. We have 175 billion parameters. It was something interesting like that. Let's see if I can find it after. Let's read this here, just so we can understand.
Please tell me, what does 175 billion parameters or data points mean? 175 billion parameters or data points refers to the number of learnable parameters in a neural network model or the size of the dataset used to train the model. In machine learning, a neural network is a type of model that is composed of many interconnected processing nodes, called neurons, that work together to learn patterns in data. These neurons are defined by their parameters, which are values that determine how the neuron responds to inputs. The more parameters a model has, the more complex it can be and the better it can fit the training data. However, having too many parameters can also lead to overfitting, where the model becomes too specialized to the training data and performs poorly on new, unseen data. A large dataset can help to prevent overfitting and improve the performance of a model. The more data points available for training, the better the model can learn the underlying patterns in the data and make accurate predictions on new data.
Therefore, a model with 175 billion parameters or a dataset with 175 billion data points is considered extremely large and complex, and it would require significant computing resources to train and use effectively.
Okay, so that's that. And what I like to do, because I don't totally understand how these things work, I like to get a basic understanding. So let's go with this.
Sure, I can explain it in a way that a 10-year-old can understand. When we use computers to learn things, we use special programs called neural networks. These programs are like big, complicated puzzles that can figure out how to do things like recognize pictures or understand what people are saying. The parameters in a neural network are like the pieces of the puzzle. There are lots of them, and they all have to fit together just right for the puzzle to work. So if we say that a neural network has 175 billion parameters, that means it's a really, really big puzzle with a lot of pieces. Now, the data points are like the clues that we give the puzzle to help it figure out what it's supposed to do. We might show the puzzle lots of pictures of animals, for example, and tell it which ones are cats and which ones are dogs. The more pictures we show it, the better the puzzle gets at telling cats from dogs.
So if we say that a dataset has 175 billion data points, that means we've given the puzzle a whole lot of clues to work with.
It's like having a giant pile of pictures for the puzzle to practice on, so it can get really good at its job.
So, when we say that a neural network has 175 billion parameters, or a dataset has 175 billion data points, we're just talking about really big puzzles with lots of pieces and lots of clues to help them solve problems.
And I love how ChatGPT can do that. It took the most complex, it wasn't most complex, but it took a complex understanding and broke it down. But now I'm going to say this. Google Bard versus ChatGPT. Data set. Huh? Uh-oh. That can't be what it stands for. Now, wait a minute. Did that just what it say? Okay, guys. Is that what it really stands for? Don't know.
Google Bard, Big Ass Robot Dataset, and ChatGPT are two different datasets with different purposes and applications. Google Bard is a dataset specifically designed for training and evaluating models that generate human-like responses to prompts, with a focus on generating dialogue for robots. It consists of over 13,000 dialogues between human users and a virtual assistant, covering a wide range of topics. The goal of Bard is to provide a standardized benchmark for evaluating the performance of conversational AI models. ChatGPT, on the other hand, is a language model trained on a large dataset of text from the internet. It is capable of generating coherent and grammatically correct sentences and paragraphs of text, and can be fine-tuned for specific applications such as chatbots, language translation, and text summarization. ChatGPT is not designed specifically for generating dialogue with robots, but can be used for that purpose. While both datasets involve language processing and generation, they have different goals and applications. Google Bard is focused on evaluating conversational AI models, while ChatGPT is a general-purpose language model that can be applied to a wide range of tasks.
See, now listening to that, there should never be any versus who's winning, who's the king, I guess. But, I mean, I know that's how we are. And I don't know why it's not giving me the answer that it gave before when I asked it, and I don't know where it's at about. It was pretty much saying we're much better than that. Another thing we have to be aware about ChatGPT is it's trained until like September 2021, so some things it doesn't know. And that's the weirdest thing about this. Now watch this. This is so weird. Let's see. So it's telling me what today's date is. Wait a minute. Now that's funny. It didn't do this earlier. It actually gave me today's date. So not sure what clock this is on. Okay, but watch this. What is tomorrow's? See, and it switches up. Like earlier, it said something like, I don't know. Like, let me find that. Okay, there you go. So today's date is March the 12th, 2023. And this was just, I asked this about an hour ago. And it says, I'm sorry. Or I said, what time is it? Okay, that's what I said. Okay, what time is it? So let's try that again. And I don't get that. I don't get that they can't have this updated. Like, why is it have this information only up until September 2021? So also too, one thing I've noticed is it's not self-aware. So check this out. I guess it's self-aware, but it's not self-aware. Like, it doesn't even know there's a chat GPT-4 coming out. So if any of you guys know why it does that and why it's not updated, just let me know. Like, why can't it be updated constantly like they say Google or Bard may be?
Please tell me, what do you think about ChatGPT 4? As an AI language model, I don't have personal opinions or feelings, but I can tell you that there is no current version of ChatGPT 4. The latest version of GPT, Generative Pre-trained Transformer, language model available as of my knowledge cutoff date of September 2021 was GPT-3. However, it's possible that newer versions of GPT or other language models have been developed since then. It's also worth noting that the performance and capabilities of language models like GPT depend on various factors such as their size, training data, and fine-tuning methods. As an AI language model myself, I am always learning and adapting to improve my responses and overall performance.
So that's that. And while we're here, guys, let me actually read this article myself. So we've all witnessed the hype around ChatGPT in the last few months. And this article was written 5 days ago, March 7th. We've all witnessed the hype around ChatGPT in the last few months since OpenAI released it to the public. Chances are you're one of its 100 million users. I know I am. I've used the chat bot to generate content ideas. Let's see here. Content ideas for articles, write emails I'd rather not write, to get Google Sheets formulas I can't figure out on my own, which is often. While I've perfected the art of writing prompts to get best results, I am painfully aware of ChatGPT's limitations. For example, its training data was all written prior to September 2021, so it's not exactly in with current news. This is a key difference that Bard, Google's new answer to ChatGPT, is aiming to score points over. While Bard isn't yet available to the public, I decided to do a little digging just to see how it will stack up against ChatGPT and what the main differences are between the two. And here's what we know so far. I'm going to let that read this, and then I'll read the comparisons. Let's see. Bear with me, guys. Okay.
ChatGPT versus Google Bard at a glance. At a base level, both chatbots use natural language processing, which means users key in a prompt or query, and the chatbots generate a human-like response. There's a key difference, though, that boils down to the data sources and models they've been trained on. Google Bard uses Google's language model for dialogue applications, Lambda, and can offer responses based on real-time, current research pulled from the internet. ChatGPT, on the other hand, uses its Generative Pre-training Transformer 3, GPT-3, model, which is trained on data prior to late 2021. I'll walk through some of the core differences between ChatGPT and Google Bard in depth in the coming sections, but here's a quick breakdown of how they compare.
All right. Creators, ChatGPT, Bard, or ChatGPT, OpenAI, Bard, Google. Language model, a specially tweaked version of OpenAI's Generative Pre-training Transformer 3, GPT. Google's language model for dialogue applications, Llama. Data sources. ChatGPT was trained on massive data set of text, including Common Crawl, Wikipedia books, articles, documents, content scraped from the open internet, but its sources in 2021, limiting latest world events and research. And Bard was trained on Infiniset, a data set including Common Crawl, Wikipedia documents, and conversations and dialogues from the web. Bard will supposedly search the web in real time to find the most recent answers to the questions and the latest research. Man, I would love that, because just looking at something like this, tell me what you think about ChatGPT, and then I can go to Google and all those, not the same. What do you think about ChatGPT-4 and everything we know about ChatGPT-4? So, at least I found something, and that's March 10th. We may read that as well. But anyway, so availability. ChatGPT is currently available to all users through its GPT site. Google Bard is currently only available to a select group of beta testers. Man, y'all should have got me. Y'all should have had me. You know I'm a Google guy. YouTube, Alphabet, all of that. ChatGPT is free to all users. OpenAI is also rolling out a subscription model with a paid plan. That's the one I got. Billed at $20 a month to include access during peak times, faster response times, and priority access to new features. Bard is expected to be free, but Google has not yet publicly confirmed this. So let's copy this just so we can continue this article. I'll stop right there for today. And I definitely want to give credit to these articles. The people who wrote these articles.
Google's Lambda is built for dialogue. OpenAI's GPT-3 is built for text functions. Both models use a transformer architecture, a type of neural network that processes sequential input. But where GPT-3 was trained on a massive dataset of text from the internet, including books, articles, and documents from the open internet, Lambda was trained on Infiniset, a dataset focused on dialogue and conversations. While GPT-3 can understand and generate a wide range of text for multiple purposes, Lambda was designed specifically to have more natural and open-ended conversations with humans. That means Lambda is trained to understand the intent behind a user's questions and the nuance of context. To achieve this, the Google team grouped high-level concepts and topics into clusters based on hierarchy, which were used to inform the model's choices when responding. A visual representation of the clustered concepts and topics. Image credit, Google. In a nutshell, Lambda's responses are supposed to be ultra-authentic and mimic human speech in such a way it can't be distinguishable from a real human. It can also switch context when a user changes the subject, like you and I can. But while Lambda can converse more like a human being, it probably can't do things like summarizing large extracts of text. GPT-3, on the other hand, is the industry standard when it comes to natural language tasks, powering other AI tools like Jasper, Copy AI, and Bing's AI tools. It's highly trained on web text and more focused on generating text based on statistical patterns. As part of ChatGPT, it functions as a chatbot, but it can also serve as a summarizer, a translator, and other roles on a more textual level. Examples of what GPT-3 can do. Image credit, OpenAI. ChatGPT can write large amounts of text, but Bard can draw from the web. Users will be able to ask Bard questions across a range of topics, like recipes, party planning tips, or historical events, just like you're doing with ChatGPT right now.
So, there you go, guys. You know what? I want to get this last little bit before we get out of here. I thought that was close to the end of the article, and then we're going to end it right about here. But I'm starting to see the difference because I didn't totally do research and seeing the difference. I just heard the big hoopla. And I know how I feel about ChatGPT, but I know I love the Alphabet and Google products. Let's go here.
The major difference is that Bard can draw its responses from the internet, pulling in real-time data, which is pretty appealing, given that ChatGPT is still convinced it's 2021. It means that Bard will, supposedly, surface more accurate and factual information when it comes to current events and research. It can talk about new scientific discoveries, distill complex information into easy conversation, and actually help people develop their skills, like playing the piano. It's supposed to be a more advanced personal assistant than ChatGPT, though a recent mistake has already threatened its credibility. Spot the mistake. ChatGPT, on the other hand, is better at textual functions like writing articles or emails, or coming up with content marketing ideas. It's a basic text tool, but it's not perfect either. It can be a little vague and often gives generic answers, even when you ask it not to. In comparison, Bard is slated to have excellent conversation skills, with all the knowledge of Google packed into it. Bard will be a streamlined version of Google Search, whereas ChatGPT will belong to Bing. Bard's ability to synthesize information into an easy-to-understand format, no matter how complex a topic, means that it could eventually enhance the way people search for information. Google has already hinted that Bard will be integrated into Google Search. That means the AI will simplify complex topics and return information into easy-to-digest formats, so you can get insights into perspectives that differ. That will be especially relevant for topics that don't have a single correct answer.
And there you go, guys. So I want to get out of here because I told you about 30 minutes. But please definitely come back and let's get back to this joke again. I got to get a bigger selection of jokes.
I have a pizza joke, but it's a little cheesy. I'm on a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. Did you hear about the restaurant called Karma? There's no menu, you just get what you deserve. I'm trying to eat more healthy, but I'm always feeling hungrier than a hippo at a buffet. I never trust people who don't like pizza. It's a sign that they're not to be trusted. Why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. I'm in a committed relationship with my fridge. We go way back. The only thing better than a good meal is a good meal with good company. I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know.
I love that one.
What did the grape say when it got stepped on? Nothing.